Hello, this is Christine, July the 6th, 2026. I'm giving you an update on how my flowers are doing from the seedlings that I planted in the wintertime when I planted them all from seed. As you can see, my red pepper is getting pretty big. I'm just waiting for some red peppers and some blooms on it before the deer haven't got this. And my petunias here are doing quite well. They're actually starting to bloom. I don't know what this is growing in between here. I don't recall planting this, whatever it is. And even my coleus is finally starting to grow up a little bit. My lilies survived the transplant. That is a good sign. There you go. My petunias, they're blooming nicely. As you can see over here, they're blooming. This is the planter in the front yard. And my petunias are looking beautiful this year. I actually grew those all from seed, and there's a coleus hiding in there in the bottom. There's also a gazania hiding in here. I don't know if it's, I think the deer got the top of it. There's a piece missing. And my marigolds are actually blooming there. You see the flowers all hidden underneath here. I had 2 marigolds survive, 2 or 3 of them. And I'll show you the one in behind there. That's looking pretty good. These, for some reason, aren't this big. There's some Mysteriums, and in the middle is a canna lily, which I have to pull every fall and then put back. These are these fancy zinnias that I showed the package up when I was doing the initial seed planting. And you can see the blossoms are quite beautiful with the little pink stripes in the middle. Over here I got some more Mysteriums and some petunias. This plant here is more in the shade, so it's not doing quite as good as the others. I got one Cazinnia here, and it should be starting to bloom soon. I'm still waiting for it. Some petunias and an aster. I'm still waiting for that aster to bloom here. I also got a Cosmo in here, as well as a canna lily. Over here in the back I got some more petunias. And you can see some purple ones that are about to bloom here. And I got my Mysterium. This is what the blooms from the Mysteriums look like. Beautiful red flowers. My Cazinnia, deer had lunch. Over here I got my asters and some more of those coleus, and my green red pepper, the deer had lunch. So it looks a little bit headed. And that's a fancy grass that I planted that's going to have the beautiful pink fluffies on the top that are supposed to be the blooms, and some more petunias. Over here I've got, what do you call it, Swiss chard that was given to me, and I've got my tomatoes looking quite green and healthy, but I'm still waiting to find some blooms on them, and some potatoes in behind them. My cucumbers are doing pretty good. They're actually climbing up these tomato cages what I put in there, because I saw this on YouTube where somebody put something for them to climb up on, as my pole beans are climbing up those things. In the back there is my spaghetti squash, waiting for it to bloom and start growing some spaghetti squash. This here was planted from a package of wild seed. So as I can see, mostly in here are cosmos, and in the center is a canna lily. And those other little tiny white flowers, I'm not sure what they're called. Over here I got my potatoes and carrots. They made a good comeback and went Swiss chard, considering the deer kind of beheaded the potatoes. Here I got more petunias growing, and some more of that fancy grass, and some Cazinnias, and those other ones I forget what they're called. But anyways, these are the little smaller that I'm using last year's soil, so they're not doing quite as good. This one is a new planter that I put in, and I got some of those fancy zinnias that I got growing here, and they're coming to bloom here. In the back here I think is my asters, and I'm waiting to see what kind of flowers they're going to have. And some more petunias. These are these ones here. They got beautiful little flowers on them, and they come in a round. And some more zinnias right here. This is a closer view of my spaghetti squash. It's getting pretty huge. As you can see, it pretty well takes up the yard. And my beans are climbing the pole. like they're supposed to. And you should see how many beans come off these things. Unless the deer or the rabbits get them. Trust that you guys have enjoyed my little walkthrough through the garden and that you've enjoyed the flowers. And if you check out my earlier videos, you will see how I planted those flowers initially back in February. Have a good night, and we'll see you all next time.